Okay, so in my personal opinion, like you lived your entire life without me in it until a few weeks ago. Like coming into it, you should keep whatever you've built, and I should keep whatever I built. Now, once we start together on a journey of marriage and down that path, then we put everything 50-50.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to another video of Overreacting. No book of, but I go by the name of Eli. As always, we got Jew with us.
What it do, it's your boy Jew, and we out here overreacting for you. More content, more clips. Make sure you like, subscribe to that, you heard?
This next clip was sent over to us by you guys, the viewers, and it deals with, marriage and prenups, especially with athletes. In this case, we got Carlos Boozer and his wife, and they talking about prenups. So we're gonna play the video, we're gonna come back and give our thoughts on it.
So we talked about down the road and the potential of us getting married and having kids. How do you feel about a prenup?
I mean, I have been exposed to so many women that are moms, that are married, in relationships that they're going through a divorce process and they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they're starting literally from ground zero. One of my biggest fears is, thinking you have everything and you're good and then just getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. So I never want to be in a position where that happens to me.
Yeah. Okay, so in my personal opinion, like you lived your entire life without me in it until a few weeks ago. Like coming into it, you should keep whatever you've built, and I should keep whatever I built. Now, once we start together on a journey of marriage and down that path, then we put everything 50-50.
Yeah,
I do think a prenup is necessary for the both of us.
Yeah. I just hear so much regret and they wish they could have done something differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking about divorce already feels so unnatural. I don't want to talk about that. It makes me realize that we really have been living in a bubble, and in reality, we kind of really just met.
I just don't even, I don't know.
Women will try to manipulate you with shaming tactics. They'll always know how to maneuver and flip situations. And I've heard that, I'm not sure who this young lady is, but I've heard that, she's well off financially. I don't know to what extent, but I think Carlos Boozer is making the right attempt to address it. Now, we can live in la la land for whatever, the phases of when you just meet somebody and y'all liking each other or whatever the case may be. That shit cool. It's cool. Yeah, first time we smashing, the first time I seen that you could cook, the moment I realized you got a clean crib, the moment I realized you about your business, you're a good woman. But once I get to the point where I'm like, hey, I want to invest into a relationship, I want to understand that we both have a great understanding about prenups. And a lot of people get pushback on the ideal of it, but it's there to protect both of you. The prenuptial is an agreement between two parties that are in a relationship with each other that's getting married. Marriage is a business in a sense. You're putting two entities. That's like H&M and Old Navy. They come together. They're one entity. They got to come up with an agreement where what happens if they break up. And nobody wants to break up. The fact that a man brings up prenuptial agreement doesn't say that he wants to break up or he doesn't believe in a relationship. He's putting this in play to protect you and him. Now, it doesn't mean that he takes everything. In your agreement, you could put, hey, I want the house and you get to take the cars. I want this done with the kids because this helps prevent all the squabbling it has when people do happen to have divorces. I think this is the most healthy approach you can have. I feel like when I'm hearing this makes me think about when women have babies with a guy and regret it. Like, on how he wants to have his child raised. You should have been asking him those questions before you gave him the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Just like you should be asking a man these same prenuptial questions just like him before you give him the ring or accept the ring.
Yeah, him even bringing it up is a good thing. Obviously, he is a ex-professional athlete. He has secured a lot of assets, and him even bring that up to you shows a sign that he's actually seeing you as a wife material, and he's looking to see, establish it early instead of just waiting at the altar and it's like, oh yeah, sign this prenup, like our man's
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, like,
Yeah.
you know? So again, like you said, it is an agreement that both parties. I think when women specifically hear prenups, they just hear, you just sign whatever I say, and then I get to keep everything, and then you get nothing. Like, no, it's an agreement that both of you guys have to come. You have to agree upon. So again, he's saying he laid it out. Whatever you have prior to, like, you did say she was well off, and she already has her own things. I mean, whatever you have prior to this marriage, you get to keep, and whatever I have, I get to keep. And then when we come together, we split that 50-50, which to me makes logical sense. Like, you know, how can any woman,
Logic over feelings, get the merch right now.
For sure. How can any woman, especially women, a lot of women want to be feminists and want to be equal to a man. Every time we try to be equal with women, y'all seem to push back on it. I don't know, like, why is equality is a bad thing? Equality is like a bad thing when, you know, when we speak about it, but then, you know, you guys want to benefit from the equality. Like, it's a pick and choose type of scenario. I think he brought it up in a very mature way.
For sure.
I didn't see anything wrong with what he said. And again, I think more athletes, and I seen a stat about athletes after they retire, the divorce rates are very high. Like, I think I have some stats here. This is for football. It says a third of professional footballers get divorced within a year of retiring. And a figure of that rises to over 70% within 3 years. That's football players. Athletes, it says it ranges anywhere from 60 to 80%. There's no concrete like data, but there is a growing number of, you know, divorces that seem to be happening, and we're seeing more of it happening obviously now, but especially after that retirement hits, then all of a sudden you home and y'all got to deal with each other because he's not away for most of the time. And, you know, you really see what your marriage is made of after retirement. Really, that's where the real challenge is. Not when you get married, not through the course of your career, is after marriage. Is that woman really there for y'all? Y'all really compatible? Is it just looks? You know what I mean? Did you just marry her? That's when you start to see whether you made the right decision. And a lot of athletes are seeing that they didn't make the right decision. Y'all chose to value the trophy wife. And now once that money starts slowing up, it might not be the same. You might not be able to support her the same. You're in her vicinity.
She's not interested anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You're in her vicinity more. You have to deal with each other. Now it becomes like y'all really are not compatible the way you thought you was. And unfortunately, a lot of athletes are seeing that, which is why they're making a decision now to let me go out and make this prenup. That way I can protect my assets, obviously. And, you know, that way women are not just taking you out to the ringers, because a lot of women are taking you out to the ringers. I'm going to be honest with you. I be seeing what they be coming up off. I'm like, God damn, like they got all of that. Like, what did you get? Like, you know what I'm saying? And you see, like, you got nothing. Like, you just got a freaking, you got the Snoopy house. Like, you know, at that point, like, you know, so.
Also, I think women need to protect themselves. I think it's beneficial. Like, you think about the Mary J. Blige.
Mm-hmm.
She lost a lot to her, you know, ex-husband.
Mm.
There's a lot of women who have a great financial status or money, and it gets taken away from them. I want to ask you, would you even consider like getting a prenuptial agreement, or is that only for rich men?
I want to answer that. I'm going to answer that. But women understand prenuptial agreements when they're the ones that are, you know, when they're the breadwinners or they have assets to protect. Then all of a sudden they understand a prenup and they want you to sign a prenup. They get the prenup. But when it's a man giving you the prenup,
he's worth more.
Or he's worth more. Then it's like, oh, he doesn't love me and this and the third. I think it's just like mandatory DNA testing. I also think there should just be mandatory prenups. And I know we spoke to a divorce attorney, and he said that everybody does get a default prenup when you get married. A lot of people don't realize it, but there's a default prenup that everybody has when they get married. But I think prenups should just be a mandatory thing, just like DNA testing. It should. That way you take out the feelings, because what happens when any man brings up a prenup, it comes down to, oh, you don't love me, or you think the marriage is going to fail, or you like
reverse psychology.
The reverse psychology is the shaming tactics, is to try to make you, it's the guilt tripping, it's the gaslighting. All of these tactics come into play the moment you mention the P word. You know what I mean? And yeah, I for sure, if I didn't have any assets, you saying would I get a prenup?
Yeah,
I think it would make sense to just lay it out. You know, because like you said, a marriage is a business, and I think we should both come to an agreement. Hey, if this thing doesn't work out, you know, what are we going to do about if we have kids? What are we going to do if we get assets? I think it is something that people should consider. I would do it for sure, 100%. And, you know, we are gaining assets as we are continuing to grow. And that is something that we are for sure going to have to, you know, put out. And I know it's going to be a conversation of, you don't love me, or, you know, I've been here with you from the beginning, or, you know, in your situation or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think for sure, just the best. And then when it comes to the kids too, it just it's too much unnecessary fighting over, especially when it comes to the kids. What we're gonna do with that? Like, just make it simpler. We already planned all of this out. Let's make it easy. Like, that way we don't have to go through the ups and downs and we yelling at each other, cursing each other out. Through like that, it's an expense and it adds up. All of that going back, divorce is an expensive process. Going back and forth with the court and hiring lawyers.
But
Then
they
I
really
gotta pay
don't
for the
care
lawyer,
because it's
like,
not really their money.
yeah, but like, just make everything simple. I don't understand what the issue is of making things simple. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. And if my lady ever watched this clip, she got to understand that that's something I'm looking forward to, us having a conversation about and doing. Not saying because I want to leave you behind, because I want to set you straight. And it's not because I don't think our relationship will work once we're married. It's just we both been saying, is just to get that out of the way. And let's hope we don't get to the point where we need to use the clause from the prenuptial agreement because we stay together forever. But just in case, I need to protect myself, because there's a lot of men out here giving up so much money and can't afford to sustain a lifestyle themselves. But just because somebody signs for $200K or whatever the case may be, that's not what they're seeing in reality. You know what I'm saying? That's not their cost of living. And you lose so much. So I want to protect me, I want to protect you, and I want to protect his family. And this is just like a life insurance policy. You will get something if I'm out of here. I just want to know if this relationship don't work. I want to know how we're going to break this down before we get married. And I want us both to be happy having this conversation, not to say that we're fighting for a divorce or trying to get a divorce. I just want us both to be protected.
Anyway, man, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do y'all agree with prenups? Yeah, I think, prenups shouldn't be a thing. I don't know. Maybe there's a different term we got to use. Maybe it's a different, I don't know, man. We figuring this divorce thing out. Divorce rates are high, and it's logical to think of a solution that'll help combat, the whole back and forth with divorces.
You both have to agree to it.
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue is, So again, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We drop content over here every single day.
A day.
Join the Patreon, man. We got exclusive episodes. We got some episodes we recording today that y'all gonna get to see exclusively early over there. And make sure y'all cop the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co, and we see you guys in the next one.
You heard?